Hope everybody's groovy. Let me move this over here. I don't have my jack put in. I don't give jack. You know what I'm saying? Where's my? Let me go. So I've got just the regular mic here. Hope you can dig this. Are you following this? Is everybody okay? Is everybody here? Sorry about that. The camera's on that end. This morning, it is now 12:30 in the morning. It is now exactly, what is this? Wednesday. Today's jury duty for me. Pray for me. Pray for me. Is everybody there? Let's go. I need to have a check-in. Everybody, can you hear me? Anybody? There we go, Bradley. There we go, you rat bastards. You crazy people. Good for you. In any event, I'm looking over the news, and I got to tell you something. I'm in this position now where a lot of this stuff bores me. What is the subject? What is the subject that you absolutely, positively despise, that you've heard everything about, that you don't want to hear? You don't know. I'll give you an example. January 6th. What are we supposed to say about that? Seriously. What new news? What is it? January the 6th. What am I supposed to say? What am I supposed to add? How am I supposed to add anything to this? How? Have you heard enough of it? What's the subject you don't want to hear about anymore? You say, I can't take it anymore. I can't. I've lost all interest. January 6th. It's over. We got to talk about new stuff. There's this thing in the world of conservative politics that they repeat the same stuff over and over and over. I don't know what it is, and I don't even know how to explain it. What are we? No sound. Hang on a minute. Let me see this. Is this that any better? That was the most beautiful thing in the world. Is that better? 5 by 5. Yes, sound. Okay, sound is fine. I hear him fine. What is this? By the way, that's a great troll. Is anybody here? Am I the only one? Is this not good? What's that buzzing? What? What's that buzzing? What's that buzzing? I know what you're doing, you rat bastard. Rick Derringer died. Rick Derringer, rock and roll hoochie coo. I think what, wasn't he with Edgar Winter? Did you see this? Rick Derringer, good guy. Rick Derringer, good guy. Rock and roll hoochie coo. Bloody mama. Is this something or what? Rick Derringer. Let's see what Rick Derringer did. I think he was with the McCoys. Hang on, Sloopy. That's what I want to talk about. Rick Derringer. Bless his heart. Music legend Rick Derringer, 77 years old. Because his heart suddenly gave out. Guitar icon and legendary performer Rick Derringer died on Monday, Memorial Day. It's because his heart suddenly gave out. Well, I think so. Do you know anybody who died because the heart? It's like, of course, it gave out. Who wrote this? Rick's longtime wife, Jenda Derringer, said he died peacefully after being taken off life support. His caretaker and close friend, Tony Wilson, tells us he had a triple bypass just months ago. He was doing fine. He adds he seemed totally fine over the weekend. In any event, I think he died in Ormond Beach. He was with the McCoys. Hang on, Sloopy. He played with Alice Cooper, Weird Al. I think Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo. Wasn't Edgar Winter? What was his big? What was Rick Derringer's big deal? Let me look. Let's look what this looks. His big songs were in the 70s. I think he played guitar on Steely Dan's Gaucho. Really had a tremendous. Let me see, Rick Derringer. What was his big stuff? I think it was he Edgar Winter? Rick Derringer, big hits with what groups? That's me all the time. McCoy's, Fever, Come On, Hang On, Sloopy. Why do you think Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo? Did he ever play with Edgar Winter? Well, is it me? Derringer additionally performed with Edward Winter Group, producing the 1972 Frankenstein. So anyway, there's a good one too. You know what my favorite one is? They'll say to you, he died peacefully in his sleep. He died peacefully in his sleep. Died. A lot of people do not have that sudden kind of a death that pow, where you just, oh. There was a comedian who says, I don't know where people say people died peacefully in their sleep, because you can wake up even if a cat walks on your leg. You're going to wake up. So if you're in some huge thrombus, you're probably going to be aware of it. So the idea, I mean, I hope it's true, but, what are you going to do in any event? That's my story. But January 6th, what are we supposed to do with that? What are we supposed to do? President Trump versus Harvard. Who gives a shit? Do you care about Harvard? Seriously, who is it, me or what? I guess it's important. This is the most important thing in the world. Today, wrestling with Bull. Hang on a minute. I hope you caught yesterday's piece I did with our friend who was the young lady who was watching. What am I trying to say? What am I trying to say? The woman who had the affair, or had the romantic affair with Andre the Giant, is phenomenal. Did you catch it? Did you catch that by any chance? Let me see. Let me turn this down. Whenever I wake up, whenever I find myself in the position of doing this, I've got the phone, I've got the iPad. We have a Wi-Fi here which doesn't really work, and we have a Wi-Fi out there that doesn't really work. So Wi-Fi you got to turn off, and I got to go to 5G. So I got to turn all my stuff off. This is my whole thing. Now I'm a real American. Rick Derringer. Noel O'Reilly can't write. A great Canadian musician. Today's broadcast, Wrestling with Love, bold, unfiltered, provocative, the other side of midnight with Lionel. Thank you, Loco Valdez, a.k.a. Dick McCarthy. Here we go. Lionel from the Florida Keys. Where is that? Not Monroe County. Is Monroe County I went to the Keys one time. It was interesting. Senate better pass that damn bill. The hell with the bill. What are you going to do? Lionel brings his signature style, combining intellect and desire and satire. Does Uncle Lenny ever sleep? Yes. As a matter of fact, yesterday it was I just collapsed. I sleep or nap when I feel it. I was watching last night the Zodiac Killer. Did you watch that one? I love these stories about killers. My favorite, Albert Fish. I was talking to some young folks in the family. They were watching the story about cannibalism. So I said, well, the story you want to hear about is Albert Fish, because Albert Fish detailed at great length the what it's like to actually consume flesh. And he said the buttocks were the best part. He wrote this to the family of a little girl that he consumed and did horrible things with. Today I told you I've got jury duty, which I'm dreading. I got to be there at 9 o'clock, so I'm going to go home at 5, maybe get a couple hours of sleep, maybe. Jump down, go down, and try to talk to these people and say, listen, get me out of here. And I don't want to put it off because you want to get it out of the way. And I know, it's my duty, but it's like, you know what? That's complete bullshit. Nobody really wants to go do the whole, anyway. So you don't care about that. So that's my story. Sleep today. Oh. By the way, sleep. Bob Lefsetz. Have you ever heard of a guy named Bob Lefsetz? He does a great piece. It's a newsletter, and he writes, he was only 17, and we don't know the McCoys didn't play, and we don't know the McCoys didn't play on their hit single. As far as Hang On Sloopy, it was one of those songs like Louie Louie, in that it was perceived to have dirty underpinning, not that we could decipher it. That was one of the biggest stories around. Did you know this? But Hang On Sloopy was a giant hit, and followed up Fever was a pretty big one too. But that's all they wrote for the McCoys, at least in their top 40 version. Now Rick Derringer came in. His real name was Zeringer. And in the 1970s, he worked Johnny Winter's breakthrough Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo. Johnny Winters. I thought, wow. It's a very interesting thing. I thought Derringer, forgive me, I thought Derringer was, I thought Rick Derringer, Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo. Okay. Let me see something. Hang on a minute. Let me see about this one. Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo. This was Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo. It's an American song written by Rick Derringer. It was first recorded by Johnny Winter. I thought he did it. I thought he did it. Did not know that. Rick Derringer, born Rick Zeringer. Okay, enough with the Rick Derringer stuff. Let me ask you a question. Whose death affected you? Every now and then I'll tell you this. Whose rock and roll death? Oh, I'm looking at Fox News. I'm looking at Kash Patel. Waste my time. Whose death, whose rock and roll death affected you the most? Come on, my friends, let's go. Madness, they call it madness. Come on. Remember that madness? Our house in the middle of a street. Our house. Oh, no, where's the Sunday best? Mr. L doesn't need to act. He's for real. That's right, Al. John Lennon, honor monkey. John Lennon, yep. He died, damn, yep. It's 5:42 here in Scotland, 5:42 a.m. God bless you in Scotland. John Lennon. Gary Richrath. Gary Richrath from REO Speedwagon. Great guitar player. Roll with the Changes. Oh my God, madness. Stevie Ray Vaughan. Spells it V-O-N. We got it's like Theo Vaughan. John Lennon. Jesse's Girl. Jesse's Girl is a good song by Rick Springfield. Jerry Garcia. Hello, everyone. Just finished watching MM and Crew. What's MM and Crew? What is that? Whenever it happens to Mark Knopfler, Bob Dylan, too, I'll be sad to see you go. What about Dave Mason? Dave Mason's fantastic. He was my friend. Tommy Bolin, T-Rex. Remember him? Roy Orbison. I love your spelling. It's fantastic. Roy Orbison. Who? David Bowie. Get out! Just kidding. Work with a good crew here. Don't worry, we're going to liven this baby up. Daddy's home. Jerry Garcia. Elvis. Mine was Terry Kath. Terry Kath killed me. 77. Terry Kath absolutely got me. That was my only one. Terry Kath was, still think one of the greatest guitar players of all time. He died January 23rd, 1978. 31 years old. I'm over twice his age. And he will always be incredible. I'm reading some of your things. He was my friend. Who was your friend, Shay? Be specific. Be specific. God bless you. I'm still getting over Roy Orbison. Billy Vader. T-Rex went early. Crashes Rolls Royce. It's not T-Rex. It was Boland, Mark Boland. T-Rex was a group. Prince. You know, Prince. There were all kinds of rumors as to what really got Prince. I don't know if that's true. I'm just saying. Gotta wish Jimmy. Remember Jimmy Morrison and Janis were, I think, all 27 years old. 27. Prince died of AIDS. Ryan Myers, you know, I heard that, and I don't know if it's true, and I can't verify it, but that's what I had heard as well. Que bueno esta dia. Now I lay me down to sleep. Terry Cat very says Chicago was shaken up after that. Quite the comeback. Well, Kimberly, they sort of did. Remember, after him, I think it was Donnie Dacus played. Alive Again was a very interesting song. Chris Pinnock played. But nobody like Kath. Nobody. The 27 Club, Janis Joplin. Lemmy, yeah. Lemmy had that big meatball keratosis on his face. I mean, Kurt Cobain, murdered. You know, I heard that too. There's all kinds of stuff about that. All kinds of stuff. Lowell George. Oh, Lowell George. Little Feat. Dixie Chicken. Time Loves a Hero. My album, my favorite album, one of my favorites, Time Loves a Hero, with Time Loves a Hero, and Red Streamliner with Michael McDonald, was a leader of the Wild Wild West. Sam Kinison, yep, it's tragic. Sam Kinison, by the way, hit by a drunk driver. Sam Kinison never did anything to in any way involve himself. That's a good call there, Addershine. Remember Samantha Fox? Yeah, Samantha Fox. Was she wasn't a porn star, was it? Growing up in a Hollywood business family, I didn't really get too wrapped up in these people. I was rather bummed when Dick Dale died, as I had to remember to see him before he could. Dick Dale from the guitar, that surfer kind of stuff. Gary Moore. Oh my God, Gary Moore. We're not talking about the talk show host. Gary Moore. Did you see that piece that he did? Gary Moore and B.B. King? Dear God. Rory Gallagher. My good friend Christo Stavru, the sugar man, loves this one. Lynyrd Skynyrd. I'll never forget this. When Lynyrd Skynyrd died, a bunch of my friends were out. We were just out of high school. I think we're still like in college. We're kind of like, you know, stuck in this transition from high school to college. We were still kind of stupid. And anyway, when Lynyrd Skynyrd died, Walter Cronkite could not pronounce their name. He said, today the rock music mourns the loss of Lynyrd Skynyrd. Cracked me up like he couldn't believe. Eat a Peach, Dwayne Allman, of course. Carl Weinrich. You got to help me on that one, my friend. Robert Varner, Bobby Varner. Bobby, help us on Carl Weinrich. Starshine. Yes, it was called Balmoral. Remember, Star Castle was a knockoff wannabe of Yes. I remember them. Steve Marriott. I played Steve Marriott on my Hot and Nasty. Played Steve Marriott on my Lionel, my private channel. Sean says, I'm trying to persuade myself I'm not too old for rock and roll. I'll come around. You think you're too old for rock and roll? How can you say that? That's like being too old for Mozart. It doesn't make any sense. This was the music of our lifetime, my friends. Scott Buchanan says, when Danny Partridge played a 13-minute guitar lead, Danny Partridge in Osaka, they say all the chicks in the front row became pregnant. True story. Danny Partridge? You mean Danny Bonaducci with the Partridge Family? What are you talking about? Peter Green with the great Fleetwood Mac, Johnny Winter, ZZ Top Sucks, Tin Lizzy versus Thin Lizzy. Thank you for that, Lauren Nolan. I know what you mean, doll. I know what you mean. Karen needed to eat a peach. Karen Carpenter was an absolute treasure, and her death is so, so incredibly sad. Let me see what else is going on. Let's don't talk about Jimmy Comey. We're going to talk about music. Music. Do you think RFK Jr. made a video on Shmuley's casting couch to get the role? You know, I got to tell you something. Mrs. L and I were walking last night. I hope you caught it. It was kind of late in the afternoon. We're up and down the West Side Highway. We went to the West Side. And we walked by the Glass House. And the Glass House is where Shmuley and Bobby Kennedy went for their kind of schmaltz fest, where he kind of did the contrition act. It was unseemly to make it. Keith Moon, yes. Sorry, is my accent, my Irish accent, with talk text? Larry Nolan, you bastard. You crazy bastard. Daft to the Mickey. Al says, okay, I love music. Saw you guys walking in New York City today. Very nice, thank you. John Bonham. Oh, my God, John Bonham. Randy Rhoads. Otis Redding. Remember when they pulled him? They fished him up. Yeah. Sam Cooke. The members of the Temptations. Paul Williams. Remember that one? Oh, my God. From Eddie Kendrick. See, that's the story. You know, that's what I'm going to talk about today. That's what I'm going to talk about. Not January 6th. Muddy Waters. Syd Barrett. Yes. Tower of Power. Oh, my God. Emilio and Doc. Is Rocco still with us? King Crimson. Harry Chapin. Fish from the Dock of the Bay. Toto. Payne Diaz. You're a sick mother. Carlos Santana is still alive. Edgar Winter. You know, this is a very interesting subject. When people pass, who will be the person that you absolutely are transfixed by? Eric Clapton is one of them. Janis Joplin. I'm going to see what ChatGPT says. You know I love ChatGPT. Love ChatGPT. Oh my God. Watch this. Give me a list of some of the most noteworthy and less than noteworthy deaths of rock musicians over the past 30, 40 years, including those who died tragically in accidents or murders or what have you. List them numerically in terms of the most impact. And there's no information too obscure. All right, let's see what ChatGPT says. I love this thing. Kurt Cobain, Freddie Mercury, Chris Cornell. He was a Soundgarden. Suicide by hanging. Chester Bennington, Linkin Park frontman. Lane Staley, heroin, Alice in Chains singer. Prince, Taylor Hawkins, sudden death. Foo Fighters drummer. Eddie Van Halen, Scott Weiland, overdose, Stone Temple Pilot. Michael Hutchence, remember him? Remember him from INXS? Remember that one? Randy Rhoads, plane crash, Ozzy Osbourne guitarist. Less publicized, Jeff Buckley from cult figure from Hallelujah fame. Shannon Hoon, Blind Melon. Dimebag Darrell, that's not good. That's not good. Obscure but tragic, Mia Zapata. Michael Hutchence. Give me the list of died too soon musical notables from 1 to 50 in no particular order. Let's see what it says. Let me tell you something. You sick bastards, you gave me a show tonight. Because I'm walking in here and I'm going to start in about 5 minutes. And I don't want to do this January 6th stuff. I don't care about this. So anyway, thank you for that. I'm going to run. Remember, make sure you are subscribed. I make sure everybody is subscribed to this, okay? Make sure everybody is subscribed. I'm also going to change the title of today's show from, I'm going to change the title. In any event, have a great day, folks. We love you. Don't forget, Monkey's dead. Show's over. Sue you. Da, da.